Hello and welcome to a December 1st edition of the Roster Podcast, although you'll be listening to this on Monday, which will be the 4th, 5th of December.
Something. It's still summer.
Between that block is when this podcast will be relevant. Okay, I'm here with... I'm Stephen. I'm here with Jake. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Rob?
How's it going?
You can't just nod at them.
Rob nodded. They should be able to sense that I'm just acknowledging their presence.
Visual cue to the audience. Rob nodded.
Yeah. We've got Matt here on the... what do you call that in plays? Like that.
The play-by-play on the colour
comment.
The play-by-play? I don't think that's what it's called.
Yeah, and we've got no one else here, so I guess we should just start the...
Role playing! My God! It's Blake! What's he doing in the impact zone? The roster doesn't know how to react! This ain't able to stand!
We have Blake Danaher here.
Rest in peace, headphone users.
Blake Danaher from the Role Players podcast.
Yeah, it's a brand invasion, MFers.
We'll link that to... You can swear on this, it's okay.
Oh, thank fuck.
Alright, mate, let's calm down.
Yeah, we'll link to the role players in our show notes. Today we're going to be talking about top 5 players articles that we've written this week. Rob, Jake, Matt and I have all written one.
I wrote one, I just didn't post it.
Yeah. No, we got Blakey on here to moderate, since he doesn't really have a horse in the race in terms of a list that he wants to promote.
Except for race up in a Bendigo.
I got the list of Blakey Co.
Yeah, so Blakey's going to help us work out a roster.
A top 5.
A top 5 for the roster, a consensus, which we sort of
did. We
did
have a consensus top 2.
We did that with our season award picks when we first started. Yeah. So we're going to do something similar with this podcast. 5 people is a bit of a handful on the microphone. Not sure how we're going to go with that, but I'm sure we'll try and be civil. Yeah. So I guess we'll just jump right into it unless I wrote down anything else to do before that. You should probably just go and read the top 5s before you listen to this. Otherwise it might not make a ton of sense.
So pause this wherever it's at. Go read the article and come back.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're driving or something like that.
Then don't pause it.
Then keep listening. Get the article up. Keep driving and just go nuts.
So I figured we'd sort of just start with what was a consensus already picked for us, which was LeBron at number 1. We're sort of going backwards here because our first 2 picks were...
It starts to break apart as to what everyone considers the best players as we get further down the list.
So we all picked LeBron, and I think we also... And Blake, I think you would pick LeBron as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's our consensus number 1. Which is
the best.
Just quickly, even though we all agree, we should touch on it a bit.
We should talk about
why is LeBron the best? I mean, he's still coasting, and he's so good.
He's the best.
Exactly.
Yeah. Even his coasting is just
That's what I mean. He's coasting and he's almost averaging a triple.
His coasting is not trying as hard to score, but then he gets his teammates so involved that it's basically just a different type of super team.
And then they stop playing hard D on LeBron to help out on those teammates, and then he gets the easy scores anyway.
Yeah.
It's like when Kevin Love dropped 34 points. Was it 34 in the first quarter?
34.
I was watching I didn't watch it live, but I watched replay, and almost every single assist was LeBron.
Yeah.
Hitting him with a great pass for a 3-pointer. So
and
it does so much for his team.
It ends up being like a warm-up shot where Kevin Love just sets his feet and fires it because LeBron has worked hard to get him an open look.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that he does much better than any other player in the league. Even though there's a lot of great passes, LeBron just does
his
that
vision's
sort of thing.
amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like he never makes a mistake.
Yeah.
You watch him play, he does everything is calculated. Everything is to help his teammates or to help himself. He knows when to score. He knows when to pass. He's an incredible defender when he turns it up. What he does in the playoffs when the pressure is at its highest is unmatched. No one can.
I think with LeBron, if he wants to win, he doesn't have to go to the old Kobe mentality of I'm going to take 35 shots, hit 14, I barely scrape by. He gets everybody involved. Passing vision's crazy. He's scoring, going to the rack. He's unstoppable. If he wants to win, he's going to win a game. And
then that's not even talking about his defense, which is mind blowing when he locks down on someone, which he doesn't always do in the regular season because it's hard work to lock down on someone like that. For we all good here, guys.
Iggy PTSD.
Yeah. That I linked that in my top 5. The block on Iguodala, which is probably one of the top 5 basketball players in NBA history.
It's going to be one of the blocks that You know, you get people talking about the Jordan shot. People will talk about the LeBron block for years to come.
It's his sort of mark on the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And all the greats have one defining play, and that's it.
Matt, did we miss anything that you can think of?
He's the best.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's
one thing I want to quickly touch on, like sort of going back to what Blake was saying about how when he wants to win, he gets there. Like that's one thing LeBron's copped a lot of flack of over his career is passing off game-winning shots.
Yeah.
But he makes his teammates so much better that I don't see how that can be a bad thing. That he's willing to trust his teammates and get the best look, even though he knows if it's not his look, someone else can get a good look. Like I don't see why he gets so much flack for it.
I think trust in teammates is a skill rather than like a detriment to LeBron.
Yeah.
Well, he only wants players he can trust.
Yeah.
He has players who he can trust. Like that's why James Jones and all that's been with him for so long, because you can trust him to do the right thing by the team and stuff like that. He's got all that trust in his players now, and I think that's starting to show, and everybody's feeling the same way with each other, which is why you look at it. Kevin Love's, his start to the season's been amazing. Yeah. Considering what he's done the last 2 seasons, being at the team where he didn't look like he fit in. He comes in this season and he just seems, after they had, I think that title last year bonded them. Yeah. In a way they needed to be bonded. So
I think the only thing that's going to kick LeBron off the top is Father Time.
Yeah, exactly.
No other player is going to reach his level.
And he's over 30 and he doesn't look like he's lost a step at all.
Yeah.
So, he looks like he's a 22-year-old still running out there, jumping as high as he can. Like, how long can he keep it up? I think he's going to be able to do it for a long time. He's kept his body perfectly conditioned.
As his career transitions, I feel like he'll evolve into a power forward who can hit the three-pointer at the high clip, still guard fours. But it'll be interesting to see how he ages. I think it'll be very interesting to see.
I think it's amazing. Like, the biggest weakness LeBron has is his free throw shooting. And, like, he shoots 75%. He's, like...
Yeah, still
pretty good.
If that's your biggest weakness, that's...
Yeah. Oh. Like, for a lot of players, that would be, like... a good mark.
Exactly, good aim,
Yeah.
Drummond.
Yeah.
He's still shooting double the amount of free throw percentage that Drummond is.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Wow.
And that's like his complete worst thing is shooting average on free throws.
I mean, that's pretty much all I think we have to say on LeBron.
Yeah, it's not a ton.
He's a great player. He's going to go down as one of the top players of all time. What did you expect?
Let's move to number 2.
Yeah, we'll bounce to Kawhi. So I think we all agree.
Kawhi's
number 2.
Steph or Jake. Jake had Kawhi at 4.
You did,
4.
But do you think you'll be okay with bumping you up to 2?
Maybe not. I really, really don't see how Kevin Durant cannot be number 2 on this list. Honestly,
I think I also put Durant in my top 5, and I think a lot of people kind of have not forgotten about Durant, obviously, but they've kind of taken him down a step because he's playing on that super team with the Warriors. They're kind of what he does doesn't matter as much anymore.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have the impact, but I don't agree with that.
The last player to win the MVP before Curry won back-to-back. So at that point when he won the MVP, he was the consensus second best to LeBron.
Yeah.
He still won the MVP, but he was still second to LeBron. What happened after that? He had a few injuries, a bit of beef with Westbrook, and people sort of thought and forgot about Kevin Durant. Yeah. But this season, he's putting up 27 a game on 54% shooting.
He's been so efficient.
The Warriors have the best record in the league. The way he slid into the Warriors lineup and still dominated. I still think he's the second best player in the league talent-wise.
But I mean, anyone could slide into that Warriors lineup. Harrison Barnes slid in and they were winning just as much.
That's true.
That's why I can't justify putting him on this list because he has not made the Warriors a better team.
Or on this list or on...
On the list, I didn't have him in my top 5.
Okay.
I had him as he was a very 6-7, but I couldn't have him on my list because
regardless though, if we're taking it back, not from right now, if we're taking it back at the end of last playoffs, is he still the 6th or 7th best player in the NBA?
I don't think he's that good. If he was that good, he would have closed it out. The only reason OKC didn't beat the Warriors is because KD tried to play hero and win the games for them. They were ahead. They were ahead in games 5 and 6, and KD just blew it. He just completely whiffed it. It was him. Westbrook was playing well. The role players were playing well. KD just kept taking bad shots and missing them.
Honestly, before that game, or before that series, before those players, I think Durant had it in his head, I don't want to play with Russell Westbrook anymore. I feel like Russell Westbrook single-handedly drove him out of town. Yeah. Taking too many shots from him. And I know that he doesn't get, he's not going to get more shots going to Golden State, but he wants to win. The NBA is a workplace, and you want to be in the best situation where you can perform at your your pinnacle. And I think Durant made the right decision leaving, and I think he's still the second
They're
best
probably
player
going to
in the
win the
league.
title.
Yeah,
So,
I think he's still the best scorer in the league by
Yeah.
far. He's 7 foot. He cannot be guarded if he gets switched onto him with a little dude. Like he's shown also he can be a lockdown defender in last year's playoffs. Like it's an effort thing.
I think, that's the sticking point for me is that Durant and Kawhi both have like maybe the same defensive potential, but Kawhi brings it game in and game out where he's lurking, he's constantly harassing, he's always working hard on defense and he works on offense. Whereas Durant, maybe he's happy to chuck up 30 a night, but doesn't always feel like playing defense. And I think for me, that's the sticking point because yes, the skill sets are the same when they're at their ceiling. Like they're both extremely good at both ends, but I think being able to consistently put in effort is an attribute in itself, which Kawhi has and Durant maybe doesn't. And I think that's the other reason I didn't put Boogie on my top 5 is I think he's skills-wise a top 5 player, but because of all of his locker room drama and stuff, and just like the difficulties he's had with teammates and coaches, that sort of made me think maybe like that's also a skill that you have to have is fitting into a team, which is something to Durant's credit as well with Golden
State. It's one thing you got to give it to him. He's a great player, but I just think there's a lot more players that are better than him, and I've been showing it this season.
I like that point about bringing it game in and game out, but I can't get away with giving LeBron credit for coasting when Durant might coast on defense and the Warriors are still 15-2.
That's true, but I think LeBron's coasting is he's still like the center of the whole team. It's just his coasting means he's not going to do as much himself. He's just going to make everyone else better. Whereas Durant's coasting is like maybe causing defensive lapses in the Warriors rotations and stuff.
That's one thing I don't see with KD. I don't see him making his teammates better because looking at OKC, they really haven't missed much of a beat since KD left, and they got nothing in return for him. So really, they should be a lot worse than they are right now. If KD's if he's as good as you guys say he is.
But I also don't think OKC is actually that good.
Oh, neither do I. I didn't think they were going to win 35 games. They're proving me wrong.
Yeah.
They're going to make the playoffs the way they're going, but everyone made it sound like, without KD, they're not going to win 30 games. But clearly, they are.
Yeah, Matt, do you have any sort of thoughts one way or the other?
Yeah, look, I still find it hard not to say he's a top 5 player when he's arguably still the best flat-out scorer in terms of getting your shot off from any spot on the floor. There's better people. Maybe you might say like Harden or Westbrook's better at driving to the rack, or Curry's a better shooter. But in terms of having an all-round scoring game from any spot against an opponent, I'd probably still say he's probably the best scorer. And to say he's not a top 5 player, I find that hard to say.
So do you think? Yeah. Sorry to cut you off. But do you think, by saying that, do you think KD's the best offensive player in the league?
No, not best offensive, but at shot making, at hitting a shot on a defender, probably would be the top.
Who would you guys say the best?
So best scorer, you'd probably
best
say?
Scorer, yeah.
Yeah.
So who would you guys say the best offensive player is then?
LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron.
I think we're all in agreement with that. But yeah, cool. Okay, so just getting that clear. So yeah, okay. Look, I see where you guys are coming from with that, but
yeah, I was just gonna say I think Durant probably makes this list, but maybe not a number 2.
No,
I was going to say, Blakey, based on like these arguments, are you leaning one way or the other?
I think he's top 5. I don't think he's number 2.
You had him lower top 5.
I don't have him top 3.
Yeah.
He's in my top 5. Like I don't have him top 3.
Yeah.
Jake had him 2, Ezra had him 4, Matt had him 5.
Yeah.
So I think he's right around that 4-5.
I think he'll have to make the list just based on that. But yeah. So Blakey, based on that, would you say Kawhi at 2?
I'd say Kawhi too.
Yeah. Does anyone have any
I agree with the
arguments?
defensive side of it. Like,
so that's
the system he's been brought up in with the Spurs encourages him to be like that. If he has a bad night offensively, and this is where the whole Durant thing is, if he has a bad night offensively, one thing you can always rely on is a good defender defending the shot.
Yeah.
Defense can be as consistent as you want it to be. Shooting, you can have those nights where you're not going to score. So I'd put him ahead of that because his defense is what's going to win you games.
He being Kawhi in this case.
And it's not like he's a good shooter too. He knocks down the shots when you get it to him. He shot a ridiculous clip last year from 3 as well.
Yeah.
I think was it 50? Did he 50, 40, 80 or something last year?
Did he end up getting that?
50?
Yeah.
I think he might have had close to 50% from the field.
He was very close to that, if not. So how can you say that's bad offense? It's good offense.
With Kawhi, having him at 4, just because I have Anthony Davis ahead of him and I have Kevin Durant, just because I think he's not as much of a game changer as those two guys. Like, he's brilliant defensively. He's the best defender in the NBA by far. And that's what I think gets him on this list. And his offense has come incredibly far. Like, incredibly far. Like, he's not just the 3-point shooter that he was when he, came into the league, or he wasn't even a good 3-point shooter when he came into the league. He's just
Yes.
worked incredibly hard, and like in Eshran's article, it says he's not like gifted offensively. He's had to work to become great.
That's one thing he has under his belt. He's a hard worker. And one thing that I thought was a really cool stat was, up to the start of this season, Kawhi only have had 4 30-point games in his career. This season alone, he's already had more than 5.
Yeah.
So he's clearly like improving on and on in his offense. And his defense, you could even like make a case that he doesn't need to improve his defense at all. He is one of the best powers in the league on defense. Like, if he keeps improving his offense, I don't see how he can't, maintain that number 2 spot, even challenge LeBron for the number 1 spot someday. But he's still young.
That shows a lot of consistency as well, because if he's only scored 4 30-point games, but he still averaged 21 points a game last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's getting in that low 20s every game. So he might not be that huge game changer like you say, Jake, but you're going to be able to rely on him to get 20 points, 6 boards, 3 assists.
And I think that's why the
points
Spurs had such a good
nice
record.
too, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I have to give Kawhi credit for just stepping into the leader of the Spurs as well.
So
Like,
perfectly.
Timmy
Transition,
gone,
yeah.
and the Spurs haven't really slowed down a lot.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to win as many as they did last season, but they've lost one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah,
How could they not have a worse record?
I read a good SB Nation, I think, article on that, which I'll try and find and link in the show notes. But it was about how Kawhi had taken over from Timmy and was talking more and stuff like that. And he's known to be a reserved guy and stuff. So I think that's pretty interesting and a good... Like even if, regardless of our list, I think he just seems like a superstar player and a really good teammate and stuff, which is something we all want to respect.
I don't think you can hate Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, no.
Like, he is.
Yeah.
No, I've seen some people do it on Facebook. But
Oh, yeah? Facebook.
I
Whatever.
mean, everyone hates greatness. It's
Yeah.
it's a fact. Like, everyone hates LeBron, everyone hates Curry, everyone
Hates John
Yeah.
Cena.
Clearly.
I'm glad we brought you in
Clearly
here,
Blake's on
because we were
fire.
lacking the wrestling references until we got you in.
I'm bringing them all.
We've got a bunch in now.
I think we should bounce onto our third spot.
Number
So,
And
number 3, you 3 all had a consensus number 3, and I didn't
Yeah.
put him on my list, and that was Anthony Davis.
yes. So I think based on this conversation though, what I'm thinking now is number 3 Anthony Davis or is it Kevin Durant? Oh, because Rob, you didn't have either, did you?
I didn't have either on my list. They were both like, I couldn't
Yeah.
split those two for who would be my 6th.
Yeah. Who did you have second and third?
Second and third.
Westbrook?
So my number 1, LeBron. Second was Kawhi. Third, I had Westbrook.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but let's skip over to AD before we get
Yeah, let's
into
talk
Westbrook,
AD for a
because
bit.
Westbrook's a whole nother case.
Yeah.
But
Jakey loves Anthony Davis, so I guess we'll let you
I
start.
do love Anthony Davis. I just think he's playing with a bunch of scrubs besides Drew Holiday. And just doing what he does, how he's evolved. Like, yeah, he's had some health issues, but it doesn't really mean anything when you're playing on this Pelicans team. Like, I'm sure he could have come back earlier from some of these injuries, but why would they rush him
Yeah.
when they're not playing for anything? Like, his game, his face-up game is just incredible. Like, how many 40-point nights has he dropped
Oh,
already?
he's had two.
I
50.
I think
Like,
in my article I wrote like however many he had, and I think
Yeah.
since then he's had one more
Puts
40
50
or
up.
50 point
So
game.
he's had 3 or 4 at this point.
And
Yeah.
he doesn't... He hits threes. He can hit the three, but it's not
Yeah.
like he's getting all these tallies from just 3-pointers made. Like, his face-up when he drives to the basket is unguardable because of his length and size. He's increased his percentages all over the board, and just the runners and floaters he hits on big men, it's
Yeah.
just incredible.
They're godlike.
They're guard
Yeah.
back. Like, I don't think you can guard him.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if you throw it to him and he faces up, when he gets players around him, because you have to send a double. When
Yeah.
he gets a team around him, he will be incredible. And I think right now he is incredible, and he drags New Orleans along.
Yeah.
See,
That's because that team probably shouldn't have won a game yet.
Yeah.
That's one thing I gotta like bring up. I agree with what you said. When he gets a team around him, he will be incredible.
Yeah.
He's a very good player right now, but I can't justify putting someone top 5 when they can't get their team anywhere near 500. You put LeBron on that Pelicans team, they're 500 for sure. Even with the scrubs,
I honestly don't know even on that team if LeBron can do it.
he would.
I love LeBron, and obviously he's number 1 on our list, but I don't think that team has... That's a D-League team. That's like not NBA players all
Apart
of
from
them.
Drew Holiday, who
Yeah.
are they starting?
Like
He's
you-
the first game.
I was going to say, I agree with Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I feel like you put LeBron on any team, they're going to be 500.
Yeah,
Any team.
Yeah.
And you're right, Drew Holiday, he's the only player they've got on that team at the moment. And he's been playing extremely well since he's come back into that lineup.
Yeah.
He's put up a few 20-point games, he's doing well. But you're right, though, he does need those other players. And that's also, Robbie, why I can't have him in my top 5, is because their record isn't that great.
Okay.
I think he's a tremendous player, but at this moment in time, I can't justify that.
Exactly. I think
as
he will
well,
go down
so-
in history as one of the better players to ever play the game. But he's
Just
super
not right
young.
now.
But he's just not there yet.
Yeah.
Like, he will learn, and it all comes in time. Like he's averaging over 30 a game and over 10 rebounds. So I don't see how it's even an argument that just because he's not on my list, I don't think he's good. Like he's clearly a gun, but if he can't get his team over the line, what are your stats for?
Yeah.
Like stats mean nothing.
Yeah.
It's all about winning. That's all it comes down to at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I guess comparison you could look at, which we're going to have to bring up, would be if you could put the Pelicans and the Thunder and the Rockets next to each other, and you look at they've got that one franchise player who's taken over and putting up like crazy numbers. How good's the rest of the team?
That's
If
one
you
thing.
put them that way, the Pelicans
The Pelicans are a
way
little bit
worse.
below.
No, I'd say they're pretty
I
damn
wouldn't say
bad.
that. They are injured at the moment. That's one thing.
Yeah,
I have to
take that
say.
into account.
They are injured. With a healthy team, they are about par with the other guys. But because they're
I don't
injured,
know if they've got anyone that's like, maybe
If
Drew Holiday,
okay.
Amir Sheik,
yeah.
Tyreek Evans, Anthony Davis. That is 4 players who could have been an All-Star at some point in their career. Sheik almost made All-Star twice when he was at the Bulls. Coming
That's
off the
true.
bench.
But that guy is like not good anymore. That guy is washed. I don't rate.
I disagree. I think he's
Amir
washed because he
Sheik
doesn't get chances.
benefited from Thibodeau.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, everyone benefits
does.
from Thibodeau. But that's what I mean. Like, you can't say that they're a bunch of scrubs because they're clearly not scrubs. They're just not as good as the other teams have.
If Trevor Ariza plays for the Pelicans, he's the second best player on that team.
That's wrong.
I like Drew more, but
Drew and Tyreek are both better than Ariza. 100%.
I wouldn't take Tyreek Evans over Trevor Ariza.
No, I wouldn't either.
yeah, no.
Okay, that's
No.
it.
I think
I don't want to say you're all wrong, but
Tyreek's
fuck you guys, you're all
a
wrong.
more interesting player, but Ariza
Does
fits
his
with
job.
Harden a lot better than.
I don't think he would fit with the Pelicans better.
Why not? He's the 3-point shooter who plays defense. He fits everywhere.
Yes, but the Pelicans need people that can hold the ball.
Yeah, you got Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday, you need more than one person to be able to dribble.
Yeah, Anthony Davis.
You just need someone to pass to Anthony Davis and
Yeah.
then stand in the corner and hit threes. Like,
Yeah.
that's Trevor Ariza.
Well, that's what the Rockets' offense is at the moment: is give Harden the ball, stand around waiting for threes or waiting for him to get fouled. And
Or waiting for him to clear the offense and lob it to you. He's the greatest player in NBA history. Prove me wrong.
The
Prove me wrong.
The Rockets are built for Harden
yeah,
to be good. Like, the Pelicans are not built right now for Anthony Davis to
Yeah.
really
Which they
shine.
really-
And he's still shining.
yeah.
They really should be. They've had like 4 years with
Exactly.
tried.
They've had time, and I have no sympathy for them. They have
haven't done a
screwed their
good-
franchise.
Yeah, they didn't
They've
do a good
kingsed
job.
it. They've gone and done the Sacramento job.
I don't know if you can ever go that far. The Kings are so bad. Like even when they're good, it's just like
They're still-
you think they're like.
that's
inching
awkward
towards
because
a
they're
cliff.
still above the Pelicans in the standings.
Yeah, but like
That's
whenever
okay.
they're doing okay, I feel like they're always inching towards a cliff.
Let's
you
go.
know?
Let's go. 11th pick, please, Sacramento. Do it for me.
Yeah. So Blakey, do you have any thoughts on where that discussion went? Like Anthony Davis at third, I guess you don't think so, but do you think?
Like I said before, I just
yeah.
can't justify it. I still, like I said, he's still a fantastic player. He's
Yeah.
a superstar player, but I just can't with the record.
Yeah.
I still think he's a superstar player. He
Yeah.
can do everything, but he hasn't. 2 years ago, he'd be in my top 5 when they made the playoffs.
Okay. So
'Cause
wins are very important.
They took it to Golden State that
Yeah.
year. I think at that stage, I would, because of the predicament, like where they were at that time, it justified me if I wanted to put him in my top 5.
Okay.
So,
Now I can't justify putting him in because their record isn't great.
so would you take Anthony Davis, a player who you just said could do it all on the court, or would you take James Harden, who does it on one side of the ball?
I would take Anthony Davis. Only because I see
No,
future.
that's a very broad question.
Yeah,
It depends.
very-
would you
that's
take
very
him?
situational,
Would you
like.
take him to win now? Would you take him to build a franchise around?
Yeah.
I'd take Anthony
Because like,
Davis.
if
Yeah.
anybody's played with me
Yeah.
in association,
You're wrong.
you
If
know
you-
damn
if
straight
you-
I'm taking Anthony
If you say
Davis.
Davis is better to win now, you're wrong. You're just straight.
I think Davis is better to win now than
I think
James
you can't
Harden.
win with James Harden when he doesn't
Okay.
play
Yeah.
defense.
In my okay, here's what I'm saying right now. He's not. If I had an opportunity to build around a player and do what I wanted to build around him, not
Yeah.
not what's happening now, not where they are now,
If
not
you had
what
like
their
a-
teams are around him now.
an
If
expansion
I had the
team,
opportunity,
it would be
to
JJ
build it around. I wish. But if I had the opportunity to go and actually build the team around him and not be given the pieces they have now, I have Harden ahead.
Okay.
I would take the team with Harden on it now rather than the team with Davis on it now. But again, like I said, if I had the opportunity to reassess and redo the teams, and build around each player, then I take Davis.
Okay.
I just don't like
I agree.
valuing.
I'm in the same boat as you. I don't agree with Blake very much, but I'm 100% on board with what he's been
I
saying.
don't like valuing the team's success.
We're talking about top player.
when you're
That's
talking
right.
about it.
Well, how come it's okay for everyone to say that about LeBron though? No one's ever complained about LeBron 2-4 in the finals. Ha ha ha. That's been the only criticism for LeBron for the past couple of seasons.
And it's a bad criticism.
Yes, but why is it? If it was so bad, why doesn't it go away? Why does it keep coming
A
back?
lot of people are dumb and don't get basketball.
People are haters.
But I mean, but that's what I'm saying. If it's so popular, is it really that dumb though?
Yes. Oh.
I mean, I don't agree with it. I
Donald
think it's
Trump got elected by now. The popular vote is the dumb vote. No, I think
that's a-
in terms of this...
God, we're going to
in terms
get
of
taken
discussion-
down.
We're getting...
Oh god.
Russia's coming. In terms of this discussion, though, when we're trying to pick number 3, so there's we've discussed the detriments of both Davis and Durant, but I think one of them sort of has to be number 3. Like, is there an argument against this around?
If I had to pick, I'd say Davis over
Yeah.
KD.
Okay.
I would pick Durant.
You would pick Durant?
I would pick Durant over
Okay.
Anthony Davis. I think Durant's the best scorer in the game. He's taken his team to an NBA Finals before.
That's true.
Like, he
I think...
is just...
Would anyone want to put someone else in at third that hasn't been mentioned?
Yeah.
Or are we comfortable with one of these two guys being...
I had Russell at 3,
Yep.
but honestly, I do think Russell is better than both of those guys, than KD and Westbrook, but if we're going by what we've been saying as to who you'd want to win, it's not Russell. But
Wait,
Yeah.
did you say Russell is better than KD and Russell?
Russell...
Oh, did I? Sorry guys, actually, don't marijuana even once. No, I meant he was better than KD and AD.
Yep. So...
The D's. The double
Yeah,
D's.
Matt, do you have an argument for Durant or AD at 3?
Oh look, I just kind of take it as if I'm trying to make a team from scratch and I want to win this now. I want to win now this season.
Yeah.
I'm picking. Well, I'm picking Durant or Davis.
Well, that's my
I'm
opinion.
gonna take one of them over Harden or Westbrook because
Yeah.
I'm winning this year.
I think for
I wanna
me,
take Durant.
I'm picking Davis because he plays a bit more defense. And I think, I hope this got across in my article, but defense for me is a big factor. To me, you can't be a top player if you don't commit on defense. Like you have to be a good defender and you have to commit. And I think I need both of that in some capacity. So for me, I think Davis because I think he's a better defender more consistently.
I think just for me, when I'm picking between Davis and Durant, it's just like defense wins championships, but you need someone to hit a shot when there's 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah.
The offense isn't doing anything. And that's Durant to me.
Yeah.
Maybe defense wins
Not if you
championships,
can just
but that's the
draw
other
that.
4 guys who aren't your superstar. Maybe
Alright.
that's like the adage.
What if we put them all on one team?
And we call that team the Golden State Warriors. Oh my god, this could work.
Trade Zaza for Anthony Davis in the offseason. I'm sure they'll pull it off.
They do it some.
Yeah.
And still they'd somehow come out with more cap
Yeah.
room.
Okay, so if I say Davis at 3, are we all happy?
Wouldn't say happy, but I'm content.
What
Okay.
about Durant at 3?
Durant at 3. Is
I
that...
don't know.
I say
Blake's
leave it
not
to
gonna
Blake.
say-
Leave it
Yeah,
to Blake.
alright, yeah, the guest decision.
No, I said before, I'm with Robbie. We don't agree on a hell of a lot, but
Yeah,
but
all of you.
I think when I watch the Thunder play, and I'm going with Westbrook. When I watch the Thunder play, what I like, and this is why I like Westbrook. He has a lot of heart to him,
Yeah.
and why I like this is, and
He's also a prick.
maybe so, but in my opinion, he's come out this year, and I've said it in the Role Players podcast, is that he's got something to prove to everybody. And that's what I like, is because, when they versed the Thunder and they got blown out, they got their asses handed to him, right? So he could have easily gone in his shell and, said, okay, well, this guy's left, just whipped our ass, I'm going to get my head down. He doesn't. Every game he's played, he hustles hard, he does get everybody involved. It is the driving kick nearly every time, but he does get everybody involved. Him attacking the rim. If he misses his shot, he's the first guy there for the offensive board, and he gets it half the time as well.
I feel like because he has to, he has the highest usage rate of all time right
Yeah.
now. Because if he doesn't do it, who else
There's
is?
not much else on that team.
That's what I mean. But this, I'm going to quote Esrin from what he said the other week. Like, you give a bad player more possessions, there'll just be more bad possessions. You give a good player more possessions,
That's
he'll
true.
put up good stats.
I don't think
So either Esran's a liar or he's a liar. Which one is it, Esran?
Wait, what? I haven't said a thing in like 2 minutes, man. This is not me.
I don't know over 82 games if you can.
That's what I mean.
Highest
We don't
usage
know.
rate of all
That's
time.
why I have Westbrook at my third. But we're only a quarter of the way into the season this year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A lot can change.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Mine's all my spots are like going on the basis that the players can keep this up for the season.
okay,
I just think the NBA is so talented.
yeah, there's a lot of good players
Man,
going around.
imagine if we could get one of them guys on our Thursday night team. Anyone got
take my
anyone
minutes.
got Jimmer Fredette's number? I'd take him.
So right now I'm feeling like we've got LeBron at 1, Kawhi at 2, Davis at 3, Durant at 4.
Yeah,
Does anyone
let's
want
go
to argue that?
AD KD at 3.5 shared.
Yeah, look, we'll say 3 and 4 are interchangeable depending on the day and whether it's raining or not.
I
I
think
think we'll go with that.
I think 2 down.
Yeah, whether it's wind or not.
Pardon?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. So we've just got the fifth. Blake's making faces for those who can't see. The fifth spot. I think that'll be a big debate because we've all had sort of different players in on this.
One of the biggest ones. There is 2 players that this has to be between now. If we're being consistent, it has to be between Westbrook and Jimmy.
I'm going to contest this because I've changed my mind. I don't think Jimmy Butler's a top 10 player anymore.
Top
I
10.
think he's top 15, but not top 10
that's a
anymore.
big
Okay,
You're
right.
wrong answer. You're straight up
I changed
wrong.
my mind.
I have some takes and I've got some more mates.
Well,
Why? What is wrong with you?
I think he's very good on both ends, which is what I was thinking of in
Oh,
my
wow,
article.
so that's what you need to look for in a top 5 player?
That's what I was looking for.
Yes.
But I think he's pretty one-dimensional on offense.
Pretty
He's
one-dimensional.
much-
He can shoot, he can drive, he can draw fouls, he can pass the ball, he can offensively rebound. Is there another offensive thing I'm missing out?
I think
He ball hogs.
he ball hogs. They just run a
Why is
screen
his
for him.
usage rate not the
He
highest in the
dribbles
league?
in for a pull-up because he's got Wade and Rondo on his team, and they need the ball too. I think he singularly runs pick and rolls where he'll have the ball, get a screen, dribble in for a mid-range. He can spot up. I think he's very good on offense, but I just don't think that he has the broad offensive skill set.
He
that some of the
averages
other
over
guys have.
25 points a game.
Yeah, he's very good at pulling up for mid-ranges off the screen.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean
Doesn't matter how you get the points. He gets the points and he gets them efficiently.
In this case, it does because we're looking for like the best player, complete like skill set wise.
Yes, and he is probably the 3rd best defensive player in the league.
I wouldn't contest that, but I don't think his offensive game is that good.
You watch Jimmy Butler, you watch, someone set the screen for him, 3 other guys just standing there watching him run pick and roll.
Yeah.
On that Bulls offense, you have Rondo and Wade. I think the ball needs to be constantly moving because your lack of 3-point shooters. You need to be slashing, You can't just have Jimmy, he dropped 35 the other night in Denver in a loss. I just think...
KD has dropped 50 in losses, but he's still a top 3 player. I'm just saying.
Kevin
you guys are
Durant's
using
team-
arguments that you've
yeah.
said are pluses for one player, but then you're using it as a negative for Jimmy.
Kevin Durant's team is 14 or 15-2 today. Jimmy Butler's team is 10 wins. That's 3 more.
10 wins, should be on 13. Refs have lost 3 games to the Bulls.
That's only 3 more wins than Anthony Davis's Pelicans this early in the season.
Yes, but it's also 6 less losses.
Well, okay, so Jimmy's an option because we did have him on 2 lists.
Oh, yes.
Blake went through Westbrook and why he likes him for all his.
I think
stuff.
everyone sort of got the same opinion on Westbrook. He's an amazing talent,
Yeah,
but he's just. I think a lot of players could put up those numbers with the chance that Westbrook's been given.
I don't think he's a great shooter, and I think he actually has he's an okay defender, but I don't think he applies himself consistently good defense. I think he wants steals and stuff. Yeah, that's
I understand he does gamble a lot.
I don't rate him defensively.
It feels like he just bounces around the court steal.
Yeah,
I might
he's
go for that.
not really in scheme at all. He's sort of just where's my next
The
big
only
play?
thing he has going for him defensively is that he is monstrously. Is that monstrously?
That's a word. Yeah, you got
That
it.
is a word. He's just a beast in athleticism.
Yeah.
And anyone with that much athleticism will get the steals because
I
they can just on a dime drop and just turn and just grab the ball.
He should be better defensively than he is.
Yeah.
I think is the thing. Matt, who did you have at 5? Do you remember?
I had Durant, but I think
yeah.
I'll go back to Westbrook
He
and
had-
say what part of the defense. I don't know if you would consider this defensive stat, but I think he's leading the league in turnovers. If it's not Harden, is
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Westbrook,
and which
then
is
it's
which is my big thing. It's not a defensive stat per se, but it basically is. It's basically giving up 2 points or 3 points, or at least free throws when you turn the ball over and then they go straight to the rim.
Yeah.
So That's probably the reason that I don't have either of those in.
Yeah.
Those guys in. For all they do, they give up 10 points a game on turning the ball over.
Yeah, which makes it tough to rate their
Yeah.
scoring and assists as
It's
much.
hard, but that's hard though, because if you were to, you're looking at averages per game, right? If you look at averages per possession, like look at how many possessions he has, and you try to figure out an average out of how many possessions he has, how
Still
many
more than the normal
turnovers.
season, but
You know, people who aren't getting as much touches or usage rate wise, they're obviously going to have lower turnovers. When the guy's running their offense every time,
That's
you know,
true.
he's taking the turnovers from another person on the team.
Yeah.
You know, so he's obviously going to have higher turnover rates. Same with Harden.
That's true.
fair,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
one
true.
guy that we'd be crazy if we didn't mention him, Steph Curry.
I
Yeah.
was going to bring up Steph Curry
Because he was number 4 on Matt's list.
and he didn't make it in you guys'
And
list.
he's made everyone's honourable mentions, I assume. But
Yep, I think so.
Guys, this is the guy who won MVP the last 2 seasons.
I think
That's why I
MVP
gave
is
him
the
the
most
most
rated
points.
Yeah, the
The
MVP.
MVP
This
is
is nuts, you
MVP
can't- you
is
have to put him in
just
top 5.
MVP is just the hype award. That's all it is.
I love
Yeah.
Steph Curry on offense, but I think it's tough for me to call him a top player because I think his defense he works hard, but I just think he's never going to be a great
Oh
defender.
yeah, he's real out.
Just
He'll
because-
never be a good,
yeah.
he'll never be a good defender.
He works in scheme and like he works hard. He's not like doesn't care, but it's just he's like doesn't have great lateral quickness. So if someone like that's why they lost the finals. Is LeBron decided, what if we just beat up Steph Curry for 4 games?
Well, I think you're going to say before the game, let's go. Yo, Curry, you want to come have some lunch?
That's a
Dark
special
turn.
report from us. What
You heard
happened
it here
before.
first.
I think I put Durant,
Breaking NBA Finals news.
Yeah.
Durant over Steph just because Durant has shown he can be great defensively, whereas
Yeah.
Steph's sort of like
Shown he might be able to get a couple of steals.
Yeah.
like
That's
he
true.
did lead the league in steals,
Yeah, which is-
which shows he's got quick hands
And he's got a good
anticipation.
IQ, but
Yeah, and that was sort of a product of the Warriors' great team defense,
Yeah.
sort of funneling the ball towards him. But you still have to have good instincts and such to lead.
Yeah.
that's where we go
Steals.
back to the same argument for Westbrook. He gets a lot of steals too, but they both gamble. They gamble so
Yeah.
much.
For
They
every
need to call the gamblers helpline.
for every missed gamble by Westbrook, it's someone has a wide open lane to the basket.
Yeah. Is there anyone else we've missed out mentioning?
Yes, I mean there is someone that no one put on their list. Me and Matt were talking about on the card over here. I know Esran's got a few takes on this guy, Chris Paul.
Yeah.
He's finally getting the recognition this season he deserves and being in the MVP race. He does it every season.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, part of my list was because I'm a Clippers fan and Chris Paul's my favorite player. I was like, no, I can't be biased. I can't say he's a top 5 player. But
Fuck non-biased.
You know,
Jimmy's the GOAT.
but like after I posted it, thinking about it, I think he probably would have been my 5th player. I think I probably would have put him as the 5th best because I think, like, for my metrics, he's the best defensive point guard, or maybe not the best defensively, but it's balanced out by the fact he's one of the best offensive point guards. Like, he's the complete package as a player.
Exactly. Yeah, again, he's basically the ultimate pure point guard in the league.
He's ridiculously efficient, which is something we haven't talked about a ton here. But like his shooting percentages are insane, his assist percentages are insane. He doesn't turn the ball over like at all, basically. And then defensively, he's just like always in scheme, always knows what he's doing and stuff. I knocked him on my list because he gets too many techs. Like it annoys me when he gets technical fouls, but like that's pretty minor considering that like
Considering Doc almost decked a ref yesterday.
yeah, that whole team likes a good technical.
If the Clippers find playoff success, Chris Paul jumps into the top 5.
Yeah.
Easily.
Until he gets out of the second round, he's in the AD boat for me.
It's
You just can't get anywhere if you don't win it.
I think the wins argument is pretty bad generally,
You're bad.
but I think we
Hey,
should
Beat my A-top.
throwback call. But maybe that's a discussion for another time because I think we're almost running out of time here. And we should probably finish up our actual top 5 stuff. Have we missed anyone else?
I mean,
So I know I put Paul Millsap on my
one thing,
snubs, but
no one put this guy in their snubs, I don't think, which it kind of threw me. Paul George.
yep.
What is it about him that made everyone just disregard him as a top 5 or top 8 as it would have been with your snubs player?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I still
thoughts?
think he's top 10.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's injured at the moment, so
yeah.
I don't
Is he
know.
always?
I think when he has it going, he can obviously make a case for top 5
Yeah.
even. Like
That's what I mean. Like it's easy to forget how good this guy is. And
Yeah.
he's still young. Like
I think he does it all too. He defends well, shoots the 3-point line, can attack the rim. Like he's injured. I haven't seen enough of him.
That's it. That was it. That's all I wanted to know. If that was the reason, or if there was something else. Or
Yeah, I think DeMarcus Cousins probably gets a discussion as well, but
I think put him on a better team. We could have
see if he can gel with the
Take
coaching
him to
stuff
a-
and
I just think
We'll trade out 10 centres for him.
in my mind they're just like Jimmy Butler and Paul George are on the same sort of tier
Yeah, I see.
level.
Yeah,
And that's a tier lower than top 5 players.
I agree with that as well.
They're fighting for the Intercontinental title at the moment.
Yeah, Blake, can you think of anyone else we've missed?
apart from JJ Redick.
Yeah,
You know, it's hard because JJ's such a good talent.
What about Blake Griffin?
Oh yeah,
I did say I think Griffin is the best player on the Clippers.
yeah. I think you're wrong, but I think you're only saying that because I like Chris Paul and you want to hurt me personally.
I think could Chris Paul beat Darren in a one-on-one? I don't
Oh
know.
my god.
I think
That's a conversation for another podcast.
Yeah.
the Clippers need Griffin if they meet the Spurs in
Yeah,
the
that's
playoffs.
true.
He is the Spurs killer.
They also need Chris Paul if they want to win. So I
He
think
did
they're
hit
both.
that game winner.
I think they are both equally as important to the Clippers'
Yeah.
success.
Okay,
So I think that fifth. I don't think we can get a consensus. fifth pick,
I don't know.
honestly.
Yeah.
I think everyone's got their own pick. Just
Well, just quickly, let's go around. Rob, who would you pick as your fifth? Jimmy Butler, I assume.
Jimmy
Yeah,
or Harden.
yeah. Matt,
Steph.
I'd probably pick Chris Paul.
I have
Blakey.
Westbrook.
Westbrook.
Yeah, but
Blakey.
As the fifth,
Yeah.
probably. I'm going to go with Harden.
Yeah. Okay.
See, I only say that because I've already got Westbrook on my list because fuck your guys, Anthony Davis, KD. Westbrook is number 3 and number 4. So Jimmy and Harden are in my 3.
He has the
4.
usage rate for 2 players. So
Exactly.
That fits.
So he gets 2 spots on the list.
Yeah. So I think it's 5 different opinions, unless Rob and Blake want to do a stunning Harden pick and turn this whole thing around.
No.
Yeah.
I've got to maintain my bias.
Yeah. The 5th best player in the NBA is the fans, guys. I think we just gotta shout out the fans.
The fuck
Adam
up.
Silver.
James Harden is so frustrating.
Fuck
to
the
watch.
fans.
Oh my god. Because he's so brilliant offensively.
Yeah.
Like, his pick and rolls with Clint Capella, like, he's made Clint Capella relevant.
he's-
How is Clint Capella? He catches bombs.
He's averaging over 12 assists a game, or he was when I wrote my article. Like,
Yeah.
for a guy that everyone just says, oh, all he can do is drive and flop. He's doing pretty well, isn't he?
Yeah.
One thing, like, it's not fun to watch, but just the way he draws fouls.
Yeah,
He draws so many fouls.
That's one thing that I love about Jimmy is he gets the fouls. Him and Harden. Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, I think we should finish up because we're almost done. I was gonna ask some questions from email, but I reckon we should probably finish this one up. Maybe do
What
that
are we
next
at?
week. But we are at 42 minutes, so I think we should finish up. Yeah. Anyone else got anything to say? It seems like a no. Dead silence. So anyway, we won't have time for email because we're running a bit long. Yeah, we had a few posts last week. We had all the top 5s, which if you haven't read them now, you should definitely go back to.
I think
we
mine's
had,
getting posted tomorrow.
It is.
Yes,
so
but it will
it'll
already be
out,
up by
so
this
it'll be
time.
up.
Back to the future.
Yeah. I posted about some cool free games you should try, so definitely give that a look. Thanks to Blakey D Buckets for coming on.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Yeah, it's been good fun. Do you guys want me to list out social media accounts or anything? Do you guys care if other people find you on Twitter or Tumblr or Facebook or LinkedIn or MySpace or whatever?
I'll feel guilty if I don't say role plays because Min will kill me.
Yeah, no. Definitely.
Go to the Role Players podcast on Facebook for your Damian Lillard play breakdowns.
Don't be. Yeah, we'll link that in. We'll link that in the show notes for anyone interested. Matt has been on a few of those as well, so definitely check that out.
A little while ago.
Yeah, it's been a little while, but
Get dogged, man.
Don't matter, we'll get you back on eventually.
Chats, please.
One
You
of us.
magic.
One of us.
can find us at the-roster.net on the internet, at roster.net on Facebook, roster tweets on Twitter. I think we're therosterblog.tumblr.com now, if you want
Sweet.
to look at us on Tumblr. Yeah,
Does that mean we're Tumblr boys now?
we are Tumblr boys.
Hashtag Tumblr boys.
Yeah. Send us an email to therostermail@gmail.com. It is therostermail, not rostermail. In case you haven't gotten that memo about me getting the email wrong the first time we mentioned it.
Classic answer, Aaron.
But if you didn't know that, you haven't been listening, so get out of here. No, yeah, if you haven't been listening from day one, we don't want you listening at all.
Yeah, go away.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for listening to the listener. And we'll see you next week for some Pokemon chat.
Oh, yeah.
Share
Let's
poker.
go, Dunk.
Share poker on.
Thanks, Blake.
Deck him on the
Alright,
ass.
well, okay, let's try that again.
I got bad.